What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of your favorite source of disinformation that is true, the only real news show you can believe in, because we are not owned. That's why CNN's coming after us. That's why Fox is coming after us. That's why Gawker's coming after us. That's why Jezebel Maxwell's coming after us. That's why Jezebel's coming after us. That's why we put Huffington Post at a business. Ariana Huffington, it's me versus you on the undercard. A Jake Paul versus whatever fighter is going to take a dive for $1 million. That's what we're going to do. It is the fetaverse. Reality is a suggestion. What is real? What is not? I'm a bully. What's going on in the world? I just want to say something to the people who've been posting comments about what we were saying about Dave Chappelle. You got to tune in for me to yell at you. And by you, I mean 3 people who wrote something in the comments who always get because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. All you got to do is say something negative and I will notice you. Prince Andrew had to go to his mommy to get a little money so he could buy a little silence from women he had underage relations with. Talk about a mama's boy. Taxpayers, I'm sure you're happy about contributing to him paying off the girl who was suing him, who he illegally had sexual relations with as a young prince. Just like the Child's Tale. U.S. casinos had their best year ever. Right now, we are a country of podcasters, OnlyFans performers, and gamblers. Okay, and that's if you don't own an NFT. I am an NFT. I will not go one more day on this planet being full of blood, carbon, and oxygen. I want to be an NFT. Make me fake, because fake is the new real. I don't want to live in this world. I want to live in the metaverse. That's why I created my own called the fetaverse. Chris Cuomo's got another body. We'll talk about it. Montessori schools on fucking at us. We're putting you on notice. Now there's going to be the negative comments. He just screams. Sometimes I have a little more energy than others, okay? Montessori is on notice. The most progressive school from a long time ago, founded by a woman who sounds like if you say her name 5 times, a sauce appears. Maria Montessori is on notice because kids in Boston did blackface. Stick around to learn about it. They canceled school over it. Crypto commercials during the Super Bowl. Is it real or is it a pump and dump? Why is there commercials for money if it's not a product? We get into it with our crypto expert, Quick Hands, as we call him, Jesse Scaturo. And we also got our financial expert, Jared Harvin here. And we got more. There's a priest in Arizona who was doing baptisms wrong. So now I think the church is getting sued. We'll get into it. We have our Catholic expert here, Jared Harvin. There was a guy from Portland who tried to open the plane door on a plane while it was in the air. He was from Portland, so I assume it was some sort of defund the police protest. He was just opening it because he wanted to hang a defund the police banner from the plane over whatever city it was flying over. Hillary Clinton, we can't confirm nor deny whether she is responsible for espionage on a sitting president or during the campaign, but it seems like there is evidence it may be. Tucker Carlson did a piece on it. Tulsi Gabbard commented on it. So for me, that's fact, because Tucker Carlson is the new Walter Cronkite. Why not? And I'm the new Ali Wong. She's got a new special coming out. It's coming out on Netflix. The first 2 she was pregnant for. This one she's not, but she did just have an abortion for it. Wasdadealis.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day belong, and the news online going on and on. What's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Get this kid screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day. It's a long day.
What's up, Longdays fans? Before we start the episode, my dates coming up. Minneapolis, March 3rd through the 5th. I will be live. Come get your tickets. Then I will be in Springfield, Massachusetts, March 18th and 19th. And then, of course, I will be in San Antonio, March 24th through the 26th. So go get your tickets at YannisPappasComedy.com. I'm making a video. Have some respect. Enjoy this episode. It was an absolute wild one. We go in. That's what it is. When you do the first two specials and you're pregnant for 1 and 2, people expect you to have some sort of reproductive issue going on for the third special. Mm-hmm. So I did speak to my good friend Ali Wong, and she did confirm that she did, before the show starts, she goes, I was with child before this special, but as a protest to the recent passage of the 15-week abortion law in Arizona, I terminated that pregnancy for the special and walked out. So she actually went straight from the abortion to the special. Okay? Jesse, aren't you from Brooklyn? Your stomach's supposed to be hard. Jesse's fucking giving me looks like I'm performing in front of AOC's campaign crowd.
I'm just looking up Ali Wong, dog. That's it.
I mean, I know it's a harsh joke, but that's what we do here. News. We do news.
The hard-hitting news.
The hard-hitting news. So if you can tell, she's a little emaciated and dehydrated. That's because she just had an abortion before this one. Okay, third pregnancy was not possible because her beep it.
You guys used to be friends.
No, we're good friends. I'm just joking. We're comedians. That's what we do. That's a joke. But I'm just saying the third one, she had an abortion.
Yeah.
So before she gets up on stage, she actually walks out with it in a jar and goes, "Yas," and throws it. It goes, "Reproductive rights, yas." I love Allie, you know? I don't think she can admit that she's friends with me now, or else her fans will just be like, "Are your friends saying Nazi? Nazi, 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 Nazi." I want to live a week as a Nazi. I want to live a week as a different religion. I want to know what it's like for a week. If I just take a week and live as a woman, I want to take a week and live as a Muslim, just so you can know what it's like. Okay, just so you can get the insight on what's going on there. Like, what do Nazis do? Is it like, if there was an Us Weekly for Nazis, you ever go to like Us Weekly and you see like they just take a picture and they say, there's a whole section that just like us. So it'll just show like Matthew Perry looking all strung out from methamphetamines, holding a smoothie. And they'll go, just like us. And you're going, he's not just like us. He's a little sadder because he got all that money and it's not what he expected it was going to be.
Yep.
So that smoothie means a little bit more to him than it does to me. I'm just trying to be healthy. He's having his meal for the day because he has no appetite. I wonder if Nazis have a similar magazine where they're just like us, so you can watch Nazis watching movies, getting lunch. Do you think Nazis go to Trader Joe's? Shop and stop? They have to grocery shop. They're just like us, you know? Like if we started showing the humanity, maybe it would even embarrass them. Because Nazis don't want to be seen buying bread. You know, you want to always be seen in your shit. Right. When you're a Nazi, you want to be seen in your shit. You want to be seen like with your fucking whatever shit they got on. They always got shit on.
You think they do bagels on Sunday?
No, I don't think there's a lot from New York, but they definitely do like grits. They eat breakfast. Just think about Nazis eat breakfast, dog. Mm-hmm. Nazis fart. Nazi farts. You know? Can you imagine just a Nazi at his computer just... Yeah. Nazis masturbate. Nazis speak to their mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, yeah, what are you doing? You know, I'm going to the hate group meeting on Wednesday. Then we got yoga Tuesdays. Then, you know, I'm just going to watch some Netflix. The best part is, like, Nazis probably watch Blackish. They probably really like Blackish. Because, you know, the thing that you try to, like, hate the most is the thing that you, like, secretly like. When they go to the meeting, they're like, no, I wasn't watching Blackish. I was watching, I was watching Joe Rogan. I was watching I was like, but they were watching Blackish. They tuned into old episodes of Two Dope Queens. Yeah. You know they did.
They watched reruns of Martin on VH1.
You know one of them has a burner account and is following Phoebe Robinson. You know they are. That's the funny thing about Nazis. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, at the
Why is
meetings.
everyone joining these groups? Why does people want to be in a group so much? Do people respect courage, individuality, and bravery anymore? You know? How come people don't look up to Jared Harvin? He's sitting here and he's got pink fucking Crocs on.
That's a fact.
You think Jared Harvin wants to be a part of your gang?
No.
Why does everyone need a gang? Can't you stand on your own 2 fucking feet? Why do you care so much about what people think? I don't even care what my parents think. Obviously, I chose this. I think I'm starting too slow. We got to bring it down for the people who are going to say he screams too much.
Yeah.
This is not the episode one you're going to recommend for a friend. This is not the one you send them. You got to start them slow. We need a slower episode that we can always go to and be like, look, Yanni wasn't a delicious maniac on this one. He was a little bit more in the box. Don't give him these out of the box ones. I'm going to slow it down a little. We're going to take it. We're going to go a little more boys to men on this now. Okay, now that's the part where the guy starts speaking. That's what's going to happen now. Before it was the people singing, the fat one singing. Mm-hmm. What happened to the pudgy fucking guy? The pudgy one. Boys to Men never broke up. None of them ever went solo. No. I respect that loyalty.
There's only 3 of them now, though. Yeah.
What happened to the 4th one? Diabetes, lost a foot?
Probably, yeah.
Too many cheesecakes in Philly?
Too many cheesecakes in Philly.
Motown
cheesesteaks.
Back again. Doing a little East Coast swing. Longdays with Adonis Georgiadidis. Yeah, Boys to Men, there's only 3 of them. So did the talking one leave or the talking one still there? Because that voice is very important to their motif.
Yeah, it's very important.
You get 2 voices of, I want to sex you slowly, and then the fucking guy comes in to talk you down off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we lost one Boys to Men guy. The problem with Boys to Men is we don't know any of their names. Can you name one Boys to Men?
No, I can't.
No. Now, are they just men to men?
Probably.
Because they're all adults now.
Yeah.
Can we now call them men to senior citizens?
Yeah. Men to geriatrics.
Men to geriatrics. They're no longer boys to men. Now they're men's to geriatrics. Dude, I mean, the halftime performance made a lot of Gen Z people happy. Someone was saying if you were over 35, you loved that. I'm like, excuse me. Some big tweet went out like, if you were over 35, that was your favorite halftime performance. Excuse me. That was music for 40-year-olds. That was from the 90s.
Yeah.
The generation of people who listen to that goes back to almost 50 now. Okay. Snoop is what? Snoop's got gray hairs.
Snoop is like 49, I believe.
Yeah. And he's in dog years, so that's 146. Right? And Dr. Dre survived a brain aneurysm. I mean, these kids...
A brain aneurysm, $4 million from his divorced wife. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they've been through some stuff. But I'm talking about these guys got major senior citizen health problems at this point. I mean, Mary J looks good. These 70s and 80s babies out here looking better than everybody.
Mary J looked really nice. I mean, she was dancing like she was drunk, but she looked very nice.
I think that was the best part of the performance, though.
When she fell back?
Yeah, and a lot of people said that Eminem was kneeling down to honor Colin Kaepernick. It could have been that, but it also could have been he was just admiring his own custom fire threes.
Yeah.
Because he went down, he could have just been looking at them joints.
He went down and make sure it wasn't creased.
He'd make sure the joints weren't creased.
Yeah.
Eminem, also pull your pants up, okay? You're 49. My daughter's watching, young man. Pull your pants up.
That dude wears the same wardrobe for every performance he ever performs at.
He does. He always got the chain on the wallet, black pant. The pants like real low below his ass. I remember there was an Irish kid. He was a firefighter that lived on my block. Park Slope used to be all Irish. And there was a bunch of like retired cops. What happened was in my neighborhood, it went from like, working class Irish, completely Irish. That's why the St. Paddy's Day parade still goes down Prospect Park West. And then it went baby boomer hippies that grew up and had kids, like the guys from Brooklyn, like Jesse's parents. Like Jesse's father's from Bensonhurst, so he grew up, but he was the one that finger painted, so he was a little more sensitive and wanted civil rights. Well, the rest of his kids were like, get the fuck out of my neighborhood. All Jesse's dad's friends were like, get him out of my neighborhood. I don't care. I don't care if he's making a delivery. Yeah. I see anything that's not Italian in my fucking neighborhood. Okay, that's what happens if the aliens attack Bensonhurst. They shoot like that at them. They say, "Get the fuck out of my neighborhood."
Jesse's an outlier. He's the only one that puts ketchup on his hot dogs.
He puts yeah, but
Everyone
his dad
else
was
putting
like,
mustard and sauerkraut and shit.
his dad was like, guys.
Sensitive.
Yeah, he said, guys, they're people just like us. What's your? And they said, Larry, what'd you fucking say to me? What did you get the fuck out of here? And so Larry went to the basement. He started sculpting because the kid just had talent to sculpt.
No, he went to San Francisco.
Oh, first went to San Francisco to escape, but he's from Bensonhurst.
Joined the Air Force, went to San Francisco.
That's the way to get out. Yeah. All his friends were like, what are you going to do? You know, they were sitting on a stoop one day playing blue ball. You don't know blue ball, you're not from New York. That's where you throw a blue ball against the stoop. You're from Long Island. What'd you guys play?
Handball.
Yeah. Okay, so you take the blue ball and you throw it off the stoop, and then if it goes over you, you know, it's a whole system. So we played blue ball growing up against the stoop. So they were sitting around playing blue ball one day, and it was probably Vinny the Mole. You know, Vinny Mook, you know,
Louis Bop.
Who else we got? Vinny Mook, Louis Bop.
The Mole. I forgot the Mole's name.
Yeah, we call it. You know, it was Vincenzo the Mole.
Because he came out at 4 p.m. Like, what's going on?
What's going on? He came out of his house every day at 4 p.m. Italians will take your worst attribute and make it your nickname. Yeah. You know, oh, that's Joey One Eye. Oh, that's Vinny the Mole. He doesn't come out of his house before 4. At 4 o'clock, he goes, "What's going on, guys? What's going on?" And, you know, he's sitting there playing blue ball, and it's like, what are you gonna do, Vincenzo? Well, you know, my father's got the store down there. I'm going to take that over. How about these guys? Well, I started running some numbers for the chases. How about you, Larry? What are you going to do? And then he played along. He's like, yeah, you know, I got to keep people out of the neighborhood. But deep down, it was eating him up because inside he was going, I need to fucking sculpt. I want to sculpt. I want to sculpt and be free. I don't want to hate black people. I don't want to hate Puerto Ricans. I don't want to hate communists. I'm one of them. Equal rights. Tom Hayden. I'm a yippie. Civil rights. Play that Janis Joplin and give me a paintbrush. I mean, we're all in the performing arts. We're all a little gay.
Yeah.
So Larry went over to San Fran. He joined the Air Force. Hated that too, because they were asking him to do like fucking killing stuff, and he was pushing the button like this. It's like, I just want to fucking sculpt. He moved to Park Slope. It was all like the open-minded baby boomers moved to Park Slope. But anyway, there was this firefighter on my block. You know, I won't say his name because it's like public, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, yeah. Don't hurt him, Hammer.
Yeah, he would always see us with our pants like baggy, and he would just go, "Don't hurt him, Hammer. Don't hurt him." And he would always tell me, "Pull your pants up." "Yeah, what are you doing? Don't hurt him, Hammer." So,
what does that mean?
Just because MC Hammer.
Oh, okay.
MC Hammer used to wear those big balloon pants, so he was just making fun of us, going, "Don't hurt him, Hammer."
Yeah, that sounded like an ad-lib from one of his songs. I was like, what the hell is he trying to say? You a fan?
He would just always tell me to pull my pants up. He was like an Irish, old-school firefighter.
Yeah.
Guy was a brute.
He was a brute, big guy. And he came, you know, his dad was a cop. Next door neighbor to him was a cop. And they were like 2 doors down from me. He had like 12 brothers. He was the youngest, so he was still in the house. And every time, he was a great guy though. He came over, we'd be hanging out. My parents would go to Greece, we'd have big parties. I remember once he came over and were you there when he came and brought beers?
So,
and they just left?
Yeah.
Because he probably wanted to see if we were going to invite him to hang, but he was probably also uncomfortable with hanging out with kids who were 15 years younger than him. You know, he's like, I don't know if I can hang out with high schoolers, you know. But he came over, he brought us beers. And, you know, but he'd been there for a while. They knew my brother. My brother was 17 years older than me. But every time he saw me, he'd be like, hey, what's wrong? You need me to buy you a belt for Christmas? Don't hurt him, Hammer. You know, they would make fun. So, back to Eminem. It's like, guy, come on, dog. Put a belt on at this point, right?
He's dyeing that beard, right?
Of course, and the eyebrows. There was a big controversy on the internet about the eyebrows. Nobody was wearing a mask at that Super Bowl. But anyway, the halftime performance was dope. I did not like 50 Cent Upside Down. I didn't think we needed to recreate that. Yeah. You know? So what, just singing him, watching him lip sync with blood rushing to his forehead.
Yeah. He had to catch his breath.
Yeah, he had to
slurring his words.
Yeah. Snoop.
Shorty, go.
Yeah, and Dr. Dre should just be like, look, man, do I still got to perform this? Like, Eminem wrote the lyrics. I make the beat. I'm a producer. You know. I just had a brain aneurysm. It was nice to see him out there after a brain. I thought he had a stroke, right? Mm-hmm. And he was back
he had a major
out there.
brain aneurysm, yeah.
Yeah. Don't Hurt Him Hammer sounds like something said in a movie about prison made by someone who knows nothing about prison. I think that was said by somebody who knows something about prison.
Yep.
Yeah. Eminem put a belt on or the stripper boots. Otherwise, Tucker Carlson is going to have a few words with you. So Snoop is just so good, dude. Like Snoop is just like
He's still smooth.
oh, he's so smooth. His voice is so good.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised that he could crip walk. I figured he'd have tendonitis in the knees.
Yeah, and you know, I remember when these guys came on the scene. Hip hop when we grew up. Believe it or not, Jared, in your father's age, like our age, hip hop. I was alive when hip hop was invented.
Oh yeah, I know, 70s.
Yeah, like I was alive. I mean, I was too small, but I was alive like at the beginning in the 80s when I started liking hip hop. First hip hop album I got was Fat Boys. You know, I put fat laces in my Nikes.
Yeah,
like
Boom Boom
hip hop was like
Zulu Nation, Sugar Hill Gang, yeah, man.
and it was an art form back then. It was the graffiti, it was the breakdancing, the beatboxing. Beatboxing's now gone. Breakdancing's now gone. It's funny how things that start as an art like turn into pop. You know what I mean? The lyrics, it was very lyrical. That's why so many rappers hated MC Hammer and they hated Vanilla Ice because they felt like they were poppy. The lyrics were not great, and that was all true. Mm-hmm. That was all true. I mean, MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice both could dance, but you know, there were backup dancers for that. When I went to Rap Mania with my Puerto Rican girlfriend in 1990, I had to lie to my parents. We took the train up there, and this wasn't when Harlem was like, you know, saw somebody buying kale. You know, this was Harlem back in the day. I went up there. My buddy, shout out Jaha Johnson, took us out there. I think he works in A&R now.
Sounds like a cornerback for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get a blacker name than Jaha Johnson. And we went, and dude, it was like Slick Rick. The only white group that was there was Third Base, and Third Base was fucking lit. Mm-hmm. Like MC Search would dance. Like every group had backup dancers. Crazy Legs, remember? They would have whole routines. Mm-hmm. There was there was beatboxing. There was DJs cutting shit. The DJ was part of the band. Now it's just like Drake. Back then it was like Cool G Rap and DJ Polo.
DJ
like
was very
everybody
important.
had a DJ was part of their band. Like even Tribe Called Quest, what was his name? He never said anything in the videos.
Shahib Twali?
Shahib Kweli? No.
No.
Talib Kweli is the one they photoshopped into Dave Chappelle's photos.
No, not Talib Kweli.
It was Muhammad something.
Yeah.
And he was the DJ. There was like DJs were part of the group. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was an art form. There was artistry, a lot of artistry to it back then.
Yeah.
Lots of artistry back then.
Fife, yeah, Jerobi.
Jerobi. His name was Jerobi.
Yeah, Fife, Jerobi, and
Jerobi.
Q-Tip.
Yeah. Jerobi was the DJ. Where did I start with this?
You were talking about your neighborhood.
We were talking about the halftime show. Mm-hmm. So that was, you know, when someone tweeted that was 35 years, 50 had to pull up to hang upside down. That was for people in their 40s. That was incredible, and they're still going. Yeah. They're still going. Those are living legends. And I was saying when Dr. Dre and Snoop came on the scene, that's where I started. Hip hop was like very East Coast heavy. There was no Southern hip hop. There was no Atlanta-based artists. This was like Outkast came out, but when Dre, that West Coast flavor dropped, that was like a whole new sound, a whole new thing.
More gang affiliated.
Oh, it was more gang affiliated.
Ice-T.
NWA was like kind of one of the first ones, and MWA it was like hard and gang. That was the beginning of gangster rap that kind of came out of the West Coast. But then when Dre Day hit, when the Chronic hit, the Chronic was like, that is one of like the biggest moments in any genre's history. That was like a new sound, and it just announced Dr. Dre as like obviously the genius behind all those guys, you know? Ice Cube, Ren. I mean, the Chronic was, that album hit, and then didn't it do crazy sales too? Like it was, and that album, the Chronic, back to front, was just like incredible. Mm-hmm. Incredible. So seeing Dr. Dre out there, who's now a billionaire. Dr. Dre is a he was a billionaire.
Not after that divorce.
Yeah, not after the divorce. You know, this was a day where Dr. Dre could drag a woman by the hair and there wouldn't be a hashtag about it. Didn't he have an issue with someone at a club? Yeah, she was like a MTV VJ. What can you do? I had a disagreement. So I'm glad the gangster aspect of rap is over because that was no fun. Gangster stuff's no fun. But it did produce a lot of great music. That era did produce when everyone had to be hard and stuff like that. That must be a real relief. Now you got Chance the Rapper. You got guys that are just like, there's no and that's just great. I love that because the gangster part was always a little stressful. It's always a little stressful that had to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But Dr. Dre is a living legend. That was an amazing halftime show. It was good. To me, it's second to Prince. Prince was like early 2000s.
Prince was good.
Dude, Prince, and he was playing Purple Rain in the rain. I mean, in heels? The kid performed in heels. So much so he hurt his hips because he used to dance in heels. Then he started taking painkillers. He died for his art. Those were the artists I grew up with. Who do we got now? The Jonas Brothers? The fucking... And they got a few good songs. But come on, dude. The Jonas Brothers, you can tell that they're guys. I don't like that. I like my rock stars to be straight but look like women and be wearing heels.
Exactly.
Taking painkillers. With purple guitars. Naming themselves symbols.
I need like a 14-minute wardrobe change for my rock stars.
I mean, come on, dog. Prince was a fucking rock star. He's dead.
If you don't come out that floor wearing makeup, I don't want to see you. So.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear from you. I mean, Prince... Because Prince looks like a guy who's not a musical genius because there's so much flair there, but he was. If you knew how many songs he wrote that ended up becoming hits, Sinead O'Connor's whole career, Nothing Compares to You, that's a Prince song. The list goes on of songs that he wrote. Not only was he a great songwriter, he also played like every instrument.
Everyone.
He was nuts, dude. When people call my generation boomers, guys in their 40s, late 30s, 40s like me, early 40s like me, it's like, I get it. You're calling me a boomer because I'm from an era where people were good. You can't tell me when you go back and listen to rap back then that it's not better than rap now, because it is. Who's better than Biggie? Who's better than LL? Who's better lyrically than Cool G Rap? Who's better than Rakim right now? Who's a better lyricist right now? Lyricist. Thank you. I'm you're the enemy. I've had enough of you young kids. I get it. I'm a boomer because I say something reasonable. People are like, what are boomers? Are they people in their 60s? No, it's people who say something reasonable. People who want to be able to pay strippers in the monetary system that you're promoting for us to believe it. I will not buy a Bitcoin until I can hand one to a stripper. Web3 that, asshole. Someone just called me Yanni Old Days.
I don't think you're a boomer because you stick up for old rap. I think you're a boomer because you have this afternoon's lunch stain on your shirt still. That's the
sweat stains from
yes.
fat.
If I could see that spinach pie that you had at 2:00, then son, you a boomer, dog. Time to whip out the apron or the bib.
Box of Awesome is back. Bespoke Post is bringing you Box of Awesome. What a gift for you or somebody else. It is a surprise in each box. Just an assortment of cool things that come in the box that are from, emerging brands, local businesses, and they're all very cool. They got you covered, man, from winter cocktails, cozy gear, threads, camping gear essentials, whatever it is. No other thing sends you just like this eclectic box as a present, and they're very cool, and they keep coming as long as you're subscribed. Very cool stuff. So get started. To get started, it's very easy. You take the quiz. You go to boxofawesome.com. Take the quiz, which is very fun, and your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. To sign up is free. That's always good. And you can skip a month or cancel anytime, so there's no pressure. Each box costs about $45, but they hook you up with $70 worth of gear inside. So you get a deal, baby. 90% of everything that comes from Box of Awesome, like I said, is from a small up-and-coming brand. So support small brands. That's what we love to do over here at Longdays. So to get 20% off your first monthly box right now, go to boxofawesome.com, enter the promo code FUMES at checkout. That is boxofawesome.com, promo code FUMES. It's a great monthly gift for yourself or for somebody else. Cancel anytime, skip a month whenever you want. Go check it out. They got cool stuff. They got I got the knife. I got that Damascus steel knife. Which is cool. They got American barbecue rub in there, just as an example. Hot sauces. Very cool. There's a cask you can get that you can put scotch in. Things like that. Very, very cool stuff for outdoors, for wearing, cocktails, etc. Boxofawesome.com, promo code FUMES. Guys, as I've always said, this is a no-brainer. Butcher Box, the most premium cuts of protein meat, fish, steaks, burgers, chicken that you can get. Such high quality, sent to you, so well preserved and packed in their little freezer boxes. Unbelievable. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. So this just makes your life easy, saves you time at the supermarket, and is an absolute no-brainer because their quality is as good or better than any supermarket you're going to go to. So it's a no-brainer, makes your life convenient, saves time, and life in the modern era is all about convenience. So how does it work? Well, just to remind you, no antibiotics, no hormones. Each box you get contains 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on the box you choose. That's enough for 24 individual meals. That's a lot. It's a great deal. They're packed fresh and they're shipped frozen, like I said, and it's unbelievable. My favorite box that we got, Jess, what do we get? We got shrimp, we got the burgers, lobster tails, we got steaks, we got ribeyes. It was incredible. So go to butcherbox.com/fumes right now, and you will get 2 pounds of ground beef free in every order for the life of your membership. You heard that right. Let me repeat it. 2 pounds of ground beef free in every order for the life of your membership. So it's fucking it's burgers every month for free. So if you like burgers, and who doesn't, go to butcherbox.com with my promo code only, butcherbox.com/fumes, and go create your box right now. Have it sent right to your doorstep, fresh and ready to cook. Anyway, we had some fun with that. Okay, so as always, we're going to work in and we're going to go out. So the Super Bowl was great. A lot of people not wearing masks. Big media uproar because nobody's wearing masks, even though supposedly there's still a mask mandate in LA. So I don't know if that meant that people in the Super Bowl, because I know everyone who got in had to show a Vax card. You had to have a Vax card like that. Like those aren't hard to fake. And then were people supposed to wear masks at the game? I assume that they were.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Nobody was. Mm-hmm. Mask day.
Only one who was wearing mask was Kanye.
Kanye was the only one wearing a mask. He was wearing a fencing helmet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Kanye was wearing a fencing helmet. So maybe he just ran from fencing practice.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
Super
kid is
Bowl.
doing.
I thought I was watching the 2024 Olympics.
Because Pete Davidson gets dudes really bent out of shape.
Bent out of shape.
I mean, Mac Miller, he had that dude bent out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Kanye bent out of shape. Kanye's just like tweeting help to try to get his family back from Pete Davidson. And Pete Davidson's just going, guys, I don't know what's, I'm just a guy with a magical dick. Like, leave me alone. He's tweeting his private messages. This is not making Kanye look good, no?
It's not, no.
Nah.
What's your opinion on this?
It's bad PR.
What's
Again, when we had this conversation on the last pod, I said that this war between them is not going to come to a physical war. It's just going to come to like a matter of like mental mind state. And obviously Kanye is unstable and Pete is winning. Doesn't have to show up for work at SNL,
Yeah.
You pull up on a Saturday, do an update and bounce, and then go back to Kim. And then Kanye's doing that. Looks like a rogue member of the Men in Black. I like, it's really just a mental mind state, so.
It's very weird that so much of it, I know Pete. It's just weird that Pete is banging Kim Kardashian. What is next?
Yeah. This is the same guy that was in the green room of Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
Yeah, like it's the same guy. I mean, I did Soul Joel gigs with him. And now he's banging the most famous woman in the world. I mean, where do you go from Kim Kardashian? I mean, let's go. Ariana Grande. Mm-hmm. Third or fourth most famous in the world? Fifth most famous in the world?
Yep.
Then he goes, you're like, okay, from now on he's gonna be banging, you know, he'll be banging, he's gotta go back down. I mean, I was thinking, like, where do you go from Ariana Grande?
Yeah.
From here he's probably gonna start banging, you know, some 50-year-old model who was big in the 90s or something like that. Maybe you see him with Naomi Campbell or something like that, and you're like, oh, I remember when Naomi Campbell was big. She's not exactly that famous anymore. Mm-hmm. But he won, you know, maybe Simone Biles. Next thing you know, you see Pete Davidson. That would be a funny couple. He's just holding his hand down low like a child. I mean, Simone Biles is 4'3". I mean, they both could share antidepressant pills together. They could go on a date to CVS holding hands. That's what I thought it was going to be, even though Simone Biles is pretty famous, but not as famous as Ariana Grande.
No.
But then he goes up in fame, at least a little bit, and he starts banging Kanye West's girl.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
That guy went from open mic feature to cellar pass.
Women.
That was within like a 2-week period. So,
I mean, where does he go after Kim? Because of course this isn't going to last. I mean, that's funny. It was funny when him and Ariana got engaged. It was like, I mean, put your money on the obvious on that one. If it's 100 to win 400, do it. Mm-hmm. If it's a plus 1,000, do it. It's not going to work out. So when they break up, inevitably, obviously Kanye's going to kill Kim. We know that. That's going to end in tragedy. Jokes, it's a joke. No bully, joke. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Does seem that way though.
yeah.
Where does Pete go? Where do you go from Kim Kardashian?
I think you got to go to Queen of England.
I think you got to fuck Prince Andrew's mom after that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pete's gonna be royalty.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. Where do you go after, dude? Where do you go after Kim Kardashian? Who can you fuck? Who's more famous than Kim Kardashian? I mean, can you think of anyone?
No.
Oprah.
You just got to
Oprah.
Oprah. You got to Oprah. Mm-hmm.
Kim, he's got
Oprah and Whoopi at the same time.
Yeah, that's the only place to go. Is I think it's just Oprah, really.
Or Michelle.
Oh.
Michelle Obama. It's gotta look, Pete. You have no choice. Because look, here's the thing. That's the problem when you get to the top.
Yeah.
When you get to the top, you don't know where to go because it's a finite universe. So when you're at the top, there's only one way to go is down, unless it's Oprah. So Oprah, you only got two choices. Oprah, or maybe Hillary Clinton. He's already got a tattoo of her, so maybe he preempted their relationship.
Yeah, but that might turn Bill Clinton on. So, you know, he might be into that.
Bill Clinton may watch that.
Yeah.
That might be the only way that Hillary turns him on. Are you kidding me? When do you think the last time Hillary Clinton turned Bill Clinton on? Okay, I tell you when it was. A long time ago. It was a long time ago, before she knew she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
So we're talking about maybe 16, 17, or whenever they met in college before. Because in that day, if you were a lesbian, you just weren't aware of it. Mm-hmm. You know? You
Before
couldn't
she got
be.
those pantsuits tailored.
Yeah. I mean, Pete he's like hell in a Staten Island.
Really?
He's causing wars. He's causing wars like hell in a Troy. Mm-hmm. Pete of Staten Island. They will write, like, there's going to be like a new myth written about him, like the Odyssey, except it's just going to be Pete of Staten Island.
I think he scoops Rihanna next.
Rihanna. But Rihanna is not bigger than Kim Kardashian. As big, that's a lateral move. You start fucking Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State,
You got to go into politics.
to match the tattoo. Now we got a story. You start fucking Melania Trump, now we got a story. And you know she's game. Okay? You know Michelle Obama, at least a little interested. That's the only way you could go. She's too good of a woman, though. He's not going to be able to get to Michelle. She seems very moral. But Hillary, very compromised.
With Pete, he doesn't really have to upgrade women. He just has to upgrade enemies. Because now you have Kanye as an enemy. So who else, like the man, can you get mad at you? So can you get Barack?
You're
can
right.
you get Barack mad at you?
He's
like,
got to fuck The Rock's wife or Vladimir Putin's wife.
Can you get Bezos mad at you? You know,
Fuck Bezos'
you know,
girl.
get him so mad you open up both of his eyes equally. You know?
That may be the key to unlocking and making his eyes go straight.
Yep.
That's maybe what the simulators have put in the code. That the only, like, he's been going to all these eye surgeons. He's like, I got $40 million. I got my body in shape. I'm the richest man in the world, but I can't get this eye to fucking... What can we do to get these eyes to look in the same place? And if I was the simulators, or even if I was God or whatever you would believe in, I would put the codes in funny things like that in your destiny. And like, look, if Pete fucks your girl, that will make you so mad that thus your eyes will both bulge and go forward. That would be funny. If I created humanity on the planet and I was watching this for my entertainment, that's what I would do to see if it happens once in a while. You know? That's how you get to level 10 or whatever. That's like the secret menu at In-N-Out Burger. Oh, Bezos. So, great Super Bowl. Very great Super Bowl. It was a lot of fun. As we covered before on the show, highest rated of all time. Football's doing great. Everyone watches football. The commercials, though. The commercials really piss off Jesse because Jesse's a real communist. So he doesn't understand why these stars are doing the Larry David thing bothered you a little bit. You're going, know. Larry, you got the best show on television.
It was a funny commercial.
It was a funny commercial.
But he's got the show. The show's prestigious.
The show's very prestigious. Probably one of the funniest shows of all time.
Right. He's got $500 million.
At least. That we know about.
What's in it for him?
What's in it for Larry David? And why does Larry David look like he's not aging but is aging at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the first season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, how much baby blood is this guy being prescribed? He's the same age as he was like 12 years ago. I mean, Curb Your Enthusiasm has been on the air for what, 15 years? A long time. So it used to be anathema, if you don't know that word against the murder, for celebrities to do commercials. Nobody wanted to do commercials because they didn't want to be seen as a sellout. Now, all celebrities do commercials, right? So maybe that's a boomer opinion you have. Maybe it's totally cool. And it was a crypto, at least it was a Web3 commercial. But you're saying this is your thing and our thing here. If crypto is the new money, right? Why are they advertising for it?
Right.
Because you only advertise for things that are products.
You ever seen a commercial for a $100 bill?
No, there's no commercial for a $100 bill. The commercial is for something for you to get your $100 bill. It's a product. So that makes it suspicious. That's only something a boomer would think about. Because, you know, we scrutinize things and we live in the reality that is objective, not the one we wish for. So what's going on here? When you buy an Ethereum, does someone get a service fee? Question.
Yes, they do.
Oh! Ow! Oh! Oh! Why would you get a service? Why? Don't you want everyone? Aren't you trying to dismantle the system? Don't you want everyone to have Bitcoin? Isn't this about power to the people? Or is this a Ponzi scheme for out-of-work afters?
It's okay. You thought of SAG after the actors. You put it together. I see where you're going. It's okay. It's still valid. Go ahead. You got it.
To be able to continue to not backpedal in lifestyle because they're all unemployed because they're not on Yellowstone, which is the only show out there. They're not making movies or shows anymore. Nobody's making pilots anymore. So is this a Ponzi scheme for quote unquote influencers, out of work actors, and the elite who don't have any skills, don't know how to code, and can't sew a fucking Nike shoe together, for them to be able to get all the money from normal people by convincing them that they need this new form of money? Who's hawking it to? Matt Damon. When's the last time you saw him in a movie? No. He's not The Rock. He's not Kevin Hart. Matt Damon movies ain't selling in China. Who's in the gambling commercial? Ben Affleck. Hawking Win, too, which is not a good one. BetMGM all the way, baby. It's grown 600% in 6 months. Watch Unleashed, my podcast. I'm going to re-up my contract for big money. Is this not a Ponzi scheme for out-of-work actors to be able to make a living now that Hollywood is crumbling? They're just taking all the money. So what do, Jess? It feels like a pump and dump to me. So what they do is they say, buy this thing, use your money to buy this thing that we bought early and is now worth more, so we could make a profit off of it in money. How is this supposed to be the new money if it makes you old money and that's the incentive for you to buy or sell it? I don't get it. I don't understand. Luke St. Simon, I don't understand. I don't understand. Who are the people who bought in early? Oh, people in the know. Who are people in the know? Oh, people who are friends with the people who created this pretend money. People who attend the same parties. Where are those parties? Silicon Valley. They're in Beverly Hills. They're in the Palisades, Newport, Rhode Island, Chevy Chase, DC. And they're going, uh-oh. Hold on a second. China's taking over. I don't have any skills. I haven't used these hands to make anything in my whole life ever. I was in movies. Nobody wants those anymore. I'm not The Rock. I'm not exploding things. I was Paul Giamatti's friend. I was the cab driver in a Paul Giamatti movie. Also, Paul Giamatti wants you to get in on this. Shameless is going off the air, or whatever movie's on that Dan Soder's in. What is that called again? Billions. So what are we going to do to get our millions? I know what we'll do. We'll create a fake money and convince these fucking dumb young morons that it's going to be worth something in the future. Just like religion does. Be good and you will be compensated in the afterlife. Buy Bitcoin and in the future you will be rich. Why does this feel like Napoleon Dynamite step pop selling fucking plastic plates?
Uncle Rico.
Why does it sound like Uncle Rico's hawking me some shit? Why does it sound like I'm talking to a Scientologist? Why do they get defensive like a Scientologist? Go read the comments right now while you're watching this. They're going to go, Yanni doesn't understand Bitcoin. Again, once I can tip a stripper who dances in front of me and she will accept it without me having to give her a speech about being bold and believing in the future and having faith, then I will buy it. I don't need to find a fucking progressive stripper to take my magic new San Francisco money. Because you know what? Our economies are all built on sex. Sex is the most fundamental, if you could only see what these ladies in the night are making. They make big money, okay? Big money. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, big money. Sex is the raw truth. It's what we want. It's what people want money for. They want money for sex. So it's like, until I can, I'm not going to do it because I'm a married man. Just got a new ring. Okay, I bought it. My other one was uncomfortable. Until I can pay for sex with my Bitcoin, it is not real. That is the marker for me. Okay? Think about it. You go into a strip club, right? You go to the front door. There's some big dude standing outside there. And he goes, $20 cover. And you go, no problem. I got 0.0000007% of a Bitcoin, which is worth $300,000 right now. Can you hold my computer? And I'll go in. And then you go to the stripper and she starts dancing in front of you and she's like, you're not going to tip me, daddy? And you go, of course I'm going to tip you. Do you take Bitcoin? And she goes, what's Bitcoin? And you go, do you have a couple seconds to talk about Web3? Let me explain what Bitcoin is. In the future on the blockchain, I give you this Bitcoin, you will be able to buy a mass-produced cartoon gorilla that Steph Curry has inflated the value of because we're a country that is obsessed with fame. So now that Steph Curry, in what you call insider trading fashion, has granted it value, now everybody wants a cartoon gorilla because behind the scenes, Steph Curry is probably part owner of that cartoon gorilla company. So he's made it famous by putting it on his fucking profile pic. Now everyone wants their fucking original, owned, fucking cheap cartoon gorilla that Jesse could make in 3 seconds finger painting it. But now it's worth $50 billion because Steph Curry pretended to buy something from himself. Takes a boomer to know a boomer. Am I making any sense? Jesse says yes.
You got the phone, dog. The phone can do anything. So if you got the phone, I could send you a Bitcoin. You in the strip club?
So it looks like
That's
in
true.
Vegas, there's a club now, Crazy Horse 3.
Okay, well then I'm in. Okay, so stop your comments. I'm in. As long as I can tip a stripper in Bitcoin, it's real. So if you went once that maybe I sound like the guy who was skeptical about Tesla right now. Yeah. Okay, but until I can go to any run-of-the-mill strip club in Atlanta or New York or the open mic scene for strip clubs, Tampa. I mean, that's where the girls go to get good. Comics come to New York to get good in comedy. Mm-hmm. Strippers go to Tampa to fucking work their chops.
Yeah.
If I can pay in Bitcoin at any run-of-the-mill strip club in Tampa, I'm in.
It's gonna be updated, man. If you have the phone, you can do anything. You know.
Okay.
Strippers gonna have.
Aiden Farron wants me to know that Nano has no fees, bro. So is Nano the future? How many currencies are there?
I don't trust that because it's a technological sentence and he ends it with bro. So I don't trust that.
Yeah. It's just very weird that there's a lot of people who've become very rich in dollars selling something that's going to be worth something in the future. That reminds me very much of something, how should we call it? Very familiar. The church? The church. Give me the money now, and in the future, you'll be in heaven. You'll be on a beach being carried by a frail Semitic man with a beard who will introduce you to his father and mother. Who's Mary? Pick your religion. They're just like cryptocurrencies. There's a bunch of different ones. Okay, you got your Muslim. Mm-hmm. Those are good. You get look. You know how much a $5 tip in a bucket is worth? It's worth 72 versions. Just like 0.00000037 Bitcoin is worth $100. Mm-hmm. You put a $5 greenback in a Muslim bucket, that's worth 72. That's better than Bitcoin. I'll take the 72 versions.
Yeah.
You got your Muslim currency, you got your non-denominational, and there's a bunch of different ones like that, just like there is crypto. Yep. You got your Dogecoin, you got your this, you got your Episcopalian, you got your Protestant, you got your Church of God in Christ, etc., etc., etc. And then you got your blue chip churches, the Catholic Church, blue chip. That's like Bitcoin. And then you get the Protestant Church. That's Ethereum, right? And then you got the Greek Orthodox Church. That's Nano. And they all preach wealth in the future. Wealth in the future in exchange for your wealth now. Give me your wealth now, and I will give you eternal wealth. Believe Pastor Damon and Pastor Affleck.
Pastor David.
Yeah, you will get your wealth in the future. Promise me. I promise you, I mean. Oh, God. People in the comments are going to be hating, but we all know that's a brilliant analogy, and everyone knows that I'm right. Okay? I understand the idea behind it. Now, that's why so many people believe in it, because the idea behind it is good. Just like the idea behind communism is good. But it has nothing to do with reality. The idea behind it is we want to get all these banks, we want to get the Federal Reserve, we want to get all these tech tycoons out of the picture and create our own currency. Maybe in the future, the tenets of that, the premise of that, will be manifested in something like a cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. Okay? But right now, this is a little bit like a American Dream Gold Rush. Everyone's believing in it, like a picket fence, a 2-car garage. Like that's not going to come with prostitutes in Thailand and a drinking problem.
Yeah.
It's not what it's sold to be. Okay? Even McDonald's, they don't put the real food in the commercial. They put a model that they shellac. Jesse has fucking experience with that. And then you go eat the Big Mac. It looks nothing like the commercial. God damn it. It's the super.
Or
Can we
Chris
pause
Italia.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, mental health is a very important issue that we all need to take very seriously. We should all be doing counseling. I do it. I use Cerebral. Simone Biles brought this issue to the forefront, as well as a bunch of other athletes, actors, etc. And it's good that we're now talking openly about mental health. Cerebral is actually a great site. And would you know it, Simone Biles herself is Cerebral's chief impact officer. She uses Cerebral and advocates for it. So need you guys to check out this online mental health service. They offer prescription medication, counseling, and therapy for anything, anxiety, depression, whatever you're going through. They're one of the few services that provide medication online through a licensed professional that ships medication straight to your door, so you get to skip the pharmacy lines and have it done in private. It's great. You can do your sessions on your laptop or your phone, so you can always find an area of the home where you're most comfortable. The treatments are affordable, and they're 1/3 the price of traditional therapy. That's their goal, is to bring affordable therapy to the people, and they're doing a great job of it. Cerebral is in network for several insurers, and they're working every day to grow their partnerships. Even if you're out of network, they'll provide you with the necessary paperwork so you can easily submit a claim to your whatever insurance you have. So also 50% of Cerebral's clinicians self-identify as people of color, so they have people of all races, religions, gender, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Cerebral will provide you with a therapist that, you know, makes you feel comfortable. You can always change, if you don't like one, to another one until you find something that fits just right. So what you do is go to Cerebral.com/fumes, and you will receive 65% off your first month of medication management and care counseling at Cerebral.com/fumes. Let me just repeat that. That's 65% off your first month. So that's essentially, you're getting started for $30. That's $30 to join Cerebral today and help Cerebral help you on their mission to make quality mental health care accessible and affordable for all. Absolutely incredible site, Cerebral. Go check it out. Everyone needs to monitor and take care of their mental health. Now that I have a family, I have a kid, you know, I went and got life insurance. It's very important you're proactive and responsible and, you know, get yourself life insurance, you know, just in case, so you can take care of your loved ones, your family. Now there's a site that helps you through this whole process. It's so daunting trying to figure out which policy to pick, what the policy is, what it means, how much it costs. Thank God for Policy Genius. They do it all for you. It's absolutely incredible. It's a one-stop shop to find and buy the insurance that you need. That's really what it is. You head to policygenius.com. All you got to do is answer a few questions. It's very simple. I did it. In minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top companies to find your lowest price. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. They do not work for the insurance agencies. They work for you. A team of licensed experts at Policy Genius will help you understand your options and apply for the policy you choose. The team works for you, okay? That's important. They do not work for the insurance companies. I repeat that. You can trust them to offer you unbiased help and advocate for you at every step until you're covered. They don't add on extra fees. Listen to me closely. They don't sell your info to any third parties, and that's what is very important nowadays. So you can trust Policy Genius. Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot, and since 2014, Policy Genius has helped over 30 million people shop for insurance and placed over $120 billion in coverage. So go get yourself covered. If you are feeling overwhelmed by the process of, oh my God, how I'm going to choose, let Policy Genius help you. This is such an amazing, amazing site that walks you through this process that is otherwise just a headache. So head to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save right now. So it wasn't super, but it was my good friend Chris Italia, the owner of The Stand, the comedy club in New York City. as our bonus episode, or your extra long day, we're going to be talking to Chris Italia about his little scrap with the New Republic based on false allegations that he should have sued. He almost sued, but didn't, but they retracted the article. So we're going to talk all about that and that little freaking squeak who wrote it. I never say his name because he's a comedy journalist. I don't even know that's a thing. That's like a comedy journalist is like, it's worse than an improv performer.
Yeah. It's like being a nurse in elementary school.
It's like being a nurse in an elementary school, but worse. So we'll talk about that. Patreon.com/Yanni Longdays. Make sure you go sign up for those bonus episodes. People are absolutely loving them. We've turned it all around on Patreon. It's going good. So that's about that. I've had enough about talking about cryptocurrency. So back to those few comments about Dave Chappelle. Okay, I get it. A portion of the development was for affordable housing, and by affordable housing that meant like $200,000 to $400,000 houses, right? So it was like a piece of it, but it was like a big development.
Yeah.
That was there's gonna be a dump there or whatever it was, and people were like, Yanni, the media sold it all wrong. They did. So I apologize for disseminating disinformation, but don't act like Dave Chappelle wants to live next to people who can afford $200,000 homes either. Okay. If someone called Dave Chappelle and said, hey, Dave Chappelle, we want to put a project building next to your home, you're going to see him at the town meeting again. So my point still stands. Not in my backyard. We're moving on. But your point is taken. The media did try to smear him because they are going after him for everything. It wasn't that he was objecting to affordable housing per se, right?
He was objecting to the whole setup.
Because it
would have messed up traffic in the town. They would have put a dump at the center of the town. So aesthetically, it would have been messed up.
But if they were just putting Section 8 housing, he would have totally been fine with it. So your point is taken. He would have loved it, actually. He would have preferred it. He would have preferred it if it was just a whole bunch of project buildings right next to his home in Yellow Springs. So your point is taken, because that's what he prefers. He's actually trying to get that done right now. That's what he wants. He's like, you know what? I want to build a comedy club. I also want to bring low-income housing to my neighborhood.
He wants to move Queensbridge.
That's why he moved so far out into the country, is because he wanted to be next to low-income urban housing. So, okay, your point is taken, but my point was just made as well. Same difference, same shit. Nobody likes any change when they live in a small neighborhood, and people move to rich areas for a reason. They don't want to be around poor people. It has nothing to do with race. So you even saying Dave Chappelle hates black people is stupid. Dave Chappelle hates poor people. There's a lot of poor whites. He's made that very clear in a few specials. He's like, poor white. He feels bad for poor white people. He's not poor. He's not white. He's fine. So he doesn't want any of us poor people. Dave Chappelle would probably move if I bought a house in his neighborhood. Prince Andrew has is settling his lawsuit with his accuser, who was underage at the time of their meeting, and she's getting paid out. So we all knew that was going to happen, right? Because the taxpayers really do provide for their royal family, don't they?
Yep.
They're part of, when they pay the salaries of their royal family. Do you think they knew that a portion of that goes to hush money for child exploitation, sexual exploitation? So they reached a settlement. They reached a deal with Virginia. Her name was Virginia. And Prince Andrew, if you didn't know, is the Queen's second son. The make-believe queen, you know? Like, whatever. The Queen. And he's 61 years old now. And so the settlement is probably obviously disclosed. They can't talk about it. And you won't hear another peep from her because she is going to be busy shopping in Newport, Rhode Island.
Yep.
She will be busy shopping. This bitch is collecting so many Bitcoins right now, you have no idea. She's rich. So she walks away rich. He walks away being able to continue to deny everything we know he did and he lied about. And rich people just get away with it time and time again. Another example Another example of what money and power can do. So he's good, right? That's it. He's off. Prince Andrew's off. The best part about the story is that his mom is lending him part of the money. So, tomato, tomato. You know, the Queen lends a little money to Prince Andrew for some hush money against a sexual exploitation charge, or whatever you want to call it. Jared Harvin's mom picks him up at the airport when he comes on the road with me.
Yep.
Tomato, tomato. Both two good kids whose moms are still in their life. One's 61, one's 24. Tomato, tomato. There's his fucking mom.
12 mil.
12 mil of the taxpayers' money. Because let me tell you this right now. The Queen doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a side hustle delivering packages for Amazon.
Nope.
This is the taxpayers' money. How is England going to let this happen? How do they let this happen? How can the Queen, what does she have, private investments? From what? What job has she ever had? This is ridiculous. Why is there not a bigger uproar over this? How do rich people get away with this shit?
She may have OnlyFans that we don't know about. Selling them feet pics, dog. People see those blue veins, they might go crazy, son.
There you go. I'm sorry. I am remiss. It's murder. I'm remiss. I stand corrected. Apparently, she does have an OnlyFans we don't know about because that's the only place she could have conceivably come up with that money. OnlyFans. I'd check it out. If the Queen had her OnlyFans, I'd see what she was working. I'd see what she was working with.
See them shingles right near the Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
See them cankles? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So there you have it. Prince Andrew's off the hook. Taxpayers, again, this is another example of socialism bailing out capitalism. The taxpayers bailing out a company, if you will, a brand, if you will. The royal family bailing them out from scandal. All I have to say is one word: scandalous. I just don't understand. Do newscasters take a fart break? Because I just did. Chris Cuomo, talking of sexual assault allegations from poor people. You know, poor Chris Cuomo, I mean, what he's had to deal with, man. You know, living in that basement for 7 to 10 days in his Hampton homes. You know, he probably's got a few. So apparently there's another sexual assault allegation against Chris Cuomo. Now, that's what she says. But
look at this.
The woman who was reportedly haunted by the parallels of her own situation and those of the women accusing then Governor Andrew of sexual harassment.
During a lunch.
Chris Cuomo fired after CNN learned of alleged sex attack during office lunch. Ooh, Chrissy Cuomo. Now, this is the Chris Cuomo. There was another woman who wrote an article about how they met. She was a co-worker of his. She was with her husband, and they were at a bar. This was a story that kind of came and went, but he did not deny. He said he apologized, the misunderstanding, whatever it was. And this woman actually kind of liked Chris Cuomo. But what happened was she was sitting with her husband at the bar. Chris Cuomo walked in to meet them for drinks, and Chris Cuomo grabbed her ass. That was a New York Times article. In front of her husband.
He's probably throwing back a few.
Maybe he was throwing back a few. Maybe he was just being Italian.
Right, it's Italian.
Hey, Mama, so good to see you. It's a bella, ossa da madre sita. It's a bella, ossa da madre torta. Giamela, mangia, mangia. Mangia, mangia, mangia. Mangia, bella. Ossa bella.
Chris getting offended.
Chris Italia's here. Yeah, look, if you want to get sexually harassed, all you got to do is sightsee in Italy. It'll happen. They'll pull your arm. Mamma, mamma mia. It's like a Lenny and Squiggy episode. So what happened? What the young worker? What's the meat of the story? What did he do? How do you get attacked at a lunch in the office? He attacked a female ABC temp worker when she denied his proposal for sex during a lunch. He attacked her. The accusation was made at CNN lawyers in December, hours after Cuomo was suspended. The unnamed accuser has come forward. Jane Doe had long been disgusted by the similarities between the Democrats' accusers' play and her own. So it's her, this is a he said, she said, right? I mean, like, you know, we don't know. There's no evidence, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things.
He probably had that locked door like Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer had the locked door. He had the Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ain't going nowhere.
yeah. I don't know. You know, these things, it's like, she could be looking for a pay. Let's just be honest. Like he's fired already. Yeah. Oh, there's similarities between. Could he have hit on her? Probably.
Could have been a misunderstanding. You know, maybe he was reaching for her man of good and he caught a titty on the way. You know. Yeah. So you know. Yeah.
It's my grandmother made this. My grandmother made this. I apologize if there was any misunderstanding. As your governor, me and my brother, we were raised different than you were. We're Italian American, where it's hard to tell the difference between a voluptuous Jersey-grown tomato and breasts. Those are hard. Our mother raised us always to communicate with our hands. Much like the Italia brothers who understand, who don't have a reputation for reaching for anything. And when you see the bonus episode, he only has a reputation for reaching for tomatoes. Chris will prefer a tomato over a titty, and you can see that by his stature. Okay, the kid loves man of gut. Chris Cuomo, I look at him, I'm like, that's a guy who likes to grab asses. You look at Chris Italia, you go, that's a guy that loves to grab a lasagna.
I know where it's safe.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Yanni Longdays for the keep it hush hush it on the QT. Remember from LA Confidential? It's going to be a great episode. So Chris Cuomo, I mean, talk about kicking a guy when he's down. I mean, he's already down. But, I mean, if you can get a couple milli off him, why not?
I heard Cuomo was running for AG.
Which one? Which one of the Craze brothers are you talking about?
Andrew. He's trying to get
Which
back
one of the
in.
sexual Craze brothers? Andrew?
Andrew's trying to get back in.
He's trying to get back in. Oh, boy. It's funny that they try to get back in. You remember Carlos Danger tried to get back in. Mm-hmm. Hillary obviously did get back in a few times. These are new strands of COVID. They just keep coming. They keep coming.
He's trying to take the office of the one who got rid of him. I've
totally understood the wrong of my ways. The heroicism I displayed during the pandemic has taught me there's millions of ways to solve the inequities we have. And I feel like I could best serve this country by running again for office. I'm Andrew Cuomo, and I wear nipple rings. Guys, just stop, Cuomo brothers. It's time to retire early, okay? Like an Italian man who made a lot of cash laundering money for the mob at his pizza place. Yeah. You've made your sack. You don't keep going, okay? The mob got their cut. You got yours. Go raise your own tomatoes and zucchinis in your garden in Jersey, okay? And open a all-cash Italian specialty store, and then go buy a piece at a new Staten Island ferry and get in with the Italian brothers and Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Are the Cuomo silent investors on the fucking Staten Island ferry? Okay. Good. Is this crossing the line? I have a They're jokes. See, obviously the Italian brothers are the good ones, and the Cuomo brothers are the bad. Oh yeah, you gotta say man a good one. What's wrong with you? You don't put cheese. You trying to put cheese? I tell you something, Sebastian Maniscalco. You don't put cheese on a seafood pasta. What's wrong with you? Are you fucking crazy? Yeah. You're gonna fucking get me killed. My mother's here. Ma! You didn't see nothing. I'm sorry about this. I brought him over. I'm sorry. I didn't know. You know how they are. You know how they fucking are. I'm trying to show him what to do here. He's not Italian. It's not his fault. I apologize. Now my mother's gonna bring you another fucking plate. If you reach for that cheese, I gotta fucking kick you out of here. Okay, that's a fucking Fra Diavolo seafood. You don't put fucking cheese on there. Disgrazia. I mean, goddamn, your sister's ass. Italians, they're cerebral. Let's talk about one of our favorite stories that we were having a good time with. And of course, Jared is an education expert. He's a social worker for 10 years. He also was a school psychologist in Long Island. Mm-hmm. So Montessori schools. Montessori, they were invented by a woman who was very progressive at the time, I guess any time, I think her name was Maria Montessori. Speaking of sauce, that sounds like a name who could make one.
Yep.
Now, she created these schools that were very progressive in that there's no grades. It's very much based on the child's interest. There's inter-age classes, etc. There's so many progressive methods. It reviews and works very well. I think, Jesse, your brothers went, right?
Yep.
Very similar to a lot of the elements in Montessori schools you see now in the Finnish public education system, and they are now ranked #1 in the world in education. No homework. There's a lot of progressive things and ideas. No grades in Montessori schools. So also probably not cheap. Montessori schools are not public. Mm-mm. Not cheap. So our story takes us to Boston. Our story takes us to Boston, Massachusetts, where at a Montessori school, a preschool teacher or kindergarten teacher, I mean, these children look tiny. Unless she's teaching midgets, unless these are just little people.
Preschool.
Yeah, no, unless this is an audition for like a dwarf commercial. These look like preschool kids. They're preschoolers, right?
Yeah.
Preschool. Okay. So, a preschool. This is a Montessori preschool. So at the preschool, oh God bless this woman. I guess she wanted to use some progressive methods to, teach preschoolers about Black history. So what she did is she decided, in her good decision making, to have the children, oh my God, I'm looking at the picture, draw black faces with white eyes on paper plates. She did not call me for the suggestion. And the children held up the black paper plates over their face. Essentially forcing these kids into some sort of mass blackface role play that they didn't sign up for. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. Now, here's a teacher who is obviously trying to be ultra progressive. Yep. Ultra bending over backwards to teach these kids, okay, it's Black History Month. What can I do? She was sitting at home. She had all these options. She's like, okay, what can we do? They're preschoolers. So what should I do? Should I show them Ken Burns' Civil War 4-hour documentary? Not good enough. Can I show them Roots? No, that's probably a little too young for them. What else can I do? Should I take them to an old plantation in South Carolina and explain to them what a whipping post is? No, they're probably too old for that. What can I do that's appropriate for preschoolers during Black History Month? Blackface. Mm-hmm. Let me think of something that's a very non-controversial. I'll make them put on blackface so then they can feel what it's like to be Black or to honor Black people. I'll make them all black in effigy for 45 minutes and make sure someone's there to take photos to post on our school's website to show how progressive we are at the Montessori schools. Now, as you can imagine, this caused a little bit of an uproar when it got out. That there was a teacher making, imagine you were a parent and you got a call and you're like, we've put Mrs. Cranberry is on leave. And you're going, what's wrong, Mrs. You're from Boston, so you're going, what's fucking wrong? I love fucking Mrs. Cranberry. She's a fucking good teacher, kid. And they're going, well, Mrs. Cranberry decided to call an audible today and implemented some of her own ideas on how the kids could celebrate Black History Month. There's going to be a picture. Yeah, unfortunately, little Susan's in the picture. Well, you can't tell because she's holding a black paper plate over her face, but that is your daughter. You'll see it in the Boston Globe tomorrow, so we wanted to call you first, Mrs. Collins. Mrs. Collins. Mrs. Hunting. We just wanted to let you know that your kid was in blackface. Our school will be open next year. Thank you. Goodbye. We apologize that we will settle whatever you sue us for. We will settle for it. Thank you. Goodbye. What's going on here, Jared?
I think it's very brave of Miss Cranberry. I think she's a visionary because these are the only face coverings that are supported in Boston. It's very brave of her. It's a little hardcore to have that with kids, to do that, do blackface, because kids, like you said, they're innocent, they're pure, so just have them do kid stuff, have them only eat the black side of a black and white cookie, if you want to encourage that type of equality,
There you go.
Take the Oreo, get rid of the cream, the supreme cream, get rid of that, and just have them eat the chocolate cookies.
Same objective is achieved without the kids having to put blackface paper plates over their face.
Yep.
Or maybe since these kids are so mature and grown, maybe she could have just served them their coffee black to make the statement. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you really need to go into detail about Black History Month with preschoolers. You could maybe just say, hey guys, it's Black History Month. We're, if you're black, this is we love, America. Say things very positive. Talk to them like they're preschoolers, and then skip the blackface and go straight to coloring with crayons, and that's it.
Yep.
And nap time and juice box time. Let's skip the paper plate blackface section of the lesson. I mean, this is hilarious, dog. Okay, kids. Before you put your black faces up, I want to teach you a little bit about what used to happen to slaves. Okay? Now, there was something called an overseer, and then after this, we're going to talk about the Holocaust. And what we're gonna have you kids do is after you're done holding up your black faces and talking to each other in Ebonics, to celebrate Black History Month, we're gonna starve you kids for a month straight, no food, okay? And we're gonna put you in tiny little bunk beds over each other, so we can talk about the Holocaust. Get in your little bunk bed. It's nap time. Yeah, six of you per cot. Is that a demonetizer right there?
No.
Okay.
Who the hell knows?
Who knows this times? We'll talk about the Holocaust. Okay, and the way we're going to talk about the Holocaust is we're going to do a little bit of baking today. We're going to bake. We're going to make these gingerbread cookies, but these gingerbreads are going to be shaped. Okay, that gingerbread is good. That's good, Susie. That's good. Yeah, now where's the yarmulke? Okay, now this one is a gypsy, so make the nose a little more crooked. Okay, now put them in the oven. Okay, now we wait on 375 for 45 minutes. And that's the Holocaust, kids. Mrs. Crabtree, can I talk to you for a second? I just got a complaint from a kid's parents at your school. No, I'm calling you from Montessori corporate in Rome. Yes. Do you have a Noah Blomblatt in your class? Yes. Well, his parents just told me that you were putting gingerbread cookies in the oven, teaching them about the Holocaust. I thought it would be a good lesson for them. This is a Montessori school. We use different methods. The cookies were delicious. What was she thinking?
I don't know. I would like to see her curriculum plan, though.
Yeah.
It'll go civil rights, Holocaust, Khmer Rouge, the killing of Mike Brown.
Okay, kids. We're gonna start today talking about Ferguson, Missouri.
The textbook is white fragility.
Yeah, but let's backtrack to the Armenian genocide of 1800. Kids, do you know who the Cossacks were? Kids, Genghis Khan. You're at a Montessori school. We do things a little different. Genghis Khan did things a little different. Kids, we're going to talk about Nero today, who married his horse and his eunuch. And then juice time. So the Montessori school actually, they shut down.
They got fired.
She got fired, but not only did they get fired, they shut down. And then, of course, let me guess, I haven't even finished the article, but please let me guess. Is Montessori investing in diversity programs, diversity training, diversity, what are they doing? They're doing something. Are they giving to charities? What are they doing? What are they doing for Black History Month to make up for this? And the money better talk.
I don't know, but they took down their Facebook account. And
Yeah.
I mean, how do you fix this? I mean,
You gotta
does
open-
Flagrant 2 got to do a live podcast from there?
That, and you got to open the school through Meta.
You got to open the school
And you have
through
to
Meta.
give everybody a black avatar.
That's it. And we're done. That's it. So I don't, this is, imagine just getting this call if you were a parent. Being like, this is not what I envisioned when I signed my kid up for Montessori school.
Yeah, how about a little math, a little reading?
How about a little math? How about a little choo-choo train push?
a little recess.
Yeah. How about, what happened to the clay? Are kids playing with clay anymore?
Blocks.
Yeah.
Have the kids play basketball. They're going to find out how important black people are.
So, very fun story coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. And then we have another fun story out of Arizona. A priest apparently had been doing his communions wrong, Jared? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so I believe he was giving either communions or baptisms. And the prayer that he was saying, he said the word wrong. He said the actual prayer wrong. So therefore, it invalidated all the baptisms that he did. And he's done like about 1,000 of them over the years. So he retired, said, yo, my fault, y'all. And he just peaced. Now, everyone that got a baptism, they're not really appreciated by the Lord.
So the baptisms are invalid.
So they're not getting into heaven?
So they don't get into heaven this way? So all the good deeds they've been doing are just erased?
Yeah.
So if you had a wrong baptism, but if you went and you only worked with poor people and you didn't tell a lie your entire life, still means nothing.
Yeah, you're not getting into heaven because your father has the same literacy skills as Floyd Mayweather.
This is what I love about religious law is it's so just. It's as easy to understand as Bitcoin. So what are they suing? Are these people suing now?
Oh, it's probably going to sue. It's the Catholic
gonna
Church.
sue.
You know they got money.
Yeah. Imagine some of these kids who were baptized be like, I knew something was up. I knew there was a reason why I was constantly going to prostitutes and doing meth.
Yeah.
It had to do with me having a bad baptism. I would have been a good Christian kid had this priest done the right thing and did an accurate baptism. Instead, I cheated on my wife, I got a drinking problem, and I stole from my company's supply room. and yeah, I had sex with my priest.
Just because my priest doesn't know how to use nouns.
Yes.
What did he say that was wrong?
He said, we baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And it's supposed to be, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Whoa. Boomer church. Whoa. Whoa. This was a priest who chose to use different pronouns. Okay? That is not his problem. That's your problem. Please use his pronouns. Respect the pronouns that he uses. That's it. So this church could open a very lucrative Catholic church right now in Portland and be completely fine.
Be fine.
He would say, come they, come nosotros, come we, come Zubis, you Zubi. What if he was just doing very progressive baptisms?
Yeah, man.
What if the baby said, call me we?
Yeah.
What if the
said,
baby
"Call me
was a
we."
they? The baby could have been a they.
Baby could have been the day. You got to be progressive, you know, do the baptism and some kombucha juice.
Is not the community that baptized a person. Rather, it is Christ. It was Christ until things changed. Yas queen. Very funny. Very, very funny. So we'll end on this. 2 things. We got to talk about the Tinder Swindler a little bit.
Say that word one more time.
Tinder Swindler.
Here you go.
The Tinder Swindler. Here he is. Okay. The kid. What do you don't call that swag. What do you call that when somebody's just dripped? Kid is dripped out.
Dripped.
Kid rolls dripped out. And every single accessory and piece of clothing you see on him or around him was paid for by swindled women from Tinder.
That's a tough one.
Tinder Swindler.
Tinder Swindler.
Now, here's the thing. This documentary tries... Did you watch it?
Oh, I watched a little bit of it, yeah.
You saw it, Chris? Tinder Swindler? No? You haven't seen it, Jesse?
No.
The Tinder Swindler is on Netflix right now. Everyone's talking about it. I think there was a rapper who already took a picture with the Tinder Swindler. So here's this guy. He was an Israeli kid from Israel who was wanted by the law in Israel for fraud. He was like the Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Except he was, stealing yarmulkes, whatever he was stealing, falafels, hummus, whatever he was stealing. Right? And he fled the country, and he upped his game a little bit. He started meeting women on Tinder, and the story starts where he meets the first woman and he takes her on a private jet. He meets at a hotel, takes her on a private jet, flies her to another country, bangs her out the first night. Now she's a Norwegian woman living in London, right? She bangs him out on the first night. Decides to go on a jet plane ride with him. Let me guess, because his personality and his sense of humor were irresistible. Mm-hmm. His sense of kindness and empathy was so irresistible. All the charity work he was doing really piqued your interest. So you had to go and get on his private plane and fly with him to Copenhagen and fuck him on the first night. So he fucks this fucking desperate barracuda in his Copenhagen fucking 5-star hotel room, which is unbeknownst to her being paid for by some previous bitch that he's pimping out. Because he's got like this Ponzi scheme going where one chick he's with pays for the next one. And his scheme is, that's how he starts it. So he basically is showing the woman that he's got a lot of money. He's an important person. He changed his name to be the son of some diamond maker in Israel who's famous, right? They never question it. They never do anything. They just check his Instagram and see that he's hanging around expensive cars. That's all it takes to win over some peace. Mm-hmm. That's all it takes. It doesn't take a long resume of good doings.
Correct.
It just takes a couple of photos next to a Lamborghini. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Okay? I've been trying to prove over and over again with these podcasts that women have smaller brains. Case and point. Scandinavian women, even smaller. Even smaller. I've seen the autopsy photos. So, then he's like, I have to go to business, my hotel, I'm in Israel, I have to go. I have other business, I have to go. And so he just flies off. And they basically communicate over WhatsApp for their whole relationship. I think he only banged her once, really. He maybe saw her twice. Somehow in this, he convinces her, I have a lot of enemies, they're out to get me, constantly trying to get me. I'm a very important person from Israel, and the enemies trying to get me. So, and then I send a picture of me and my bodyguard, and we have, they hit us on the head, and they're trying to kill us, and I can't use my money. I can't use my own money. Somehow the jump goes from, my enemies are trying to kill me, and when you watch this, you'll see this. I'm recounting because it's so funny. The jump goes from I have enemies everywhere. Who are these enemies? Enemies. The enemies. Which enemies? Enemies. Trying to kill me. Right? They hit my bodyguard over the head with something. And somehow it goes from that to now I can't use my money. I can't use my money. And the woman, to her credit, asks, hey, why can't you use your money? And he just puts one word, untraceable. Needs to be untraceable. Unpermissible. And she just goes, got it. Understood. What should I do? He goes, wire me $25,000. She goes, I don't have $25,000. He goes, easy. Take out the credit card. American Express. She goes, I'll never get that line of credit. He goes, let me write you as a fake employee of my fake company. Your salary is $950,000 a week. I think it was $95,000 a week was her salary. So he created some fraudulent paperwork. She didn't once question. She's met him once, right? Because he was on a fancy plane and he had Gucci sunglasses. Her pussy's all making squishy noises. Then she does it. This Scandinavian broad opens up an account. He maxes that one out. She still doesn't have questions. You maxed it out. Yes, enemies. He goes, open another one. What does she do? She goes, I don't have the money to open another one. He goes, take a loan. So she goes to one bank, gets a $30,000 loan, sends it to him. He maxes that out. I'm not making this up. You can watch it for yourself. He maxes that out. He goes, I need more money. She goes, I don't have any more money. Now I'm in debt. He goes, it's only a couple weeks. I'm going to send you the money. She goes, are you sure? Do you pinky swear? Do you pinky swear? He's like, of course. We've known each other for 3 days. How could you question me? She opens another fucking loan from another bank. She takes another loan out to the tune of $250,000 she sends this guy. Meanwhile, he's using that money because he's not running from enemies. He's with another girl in like Milan, pimping her out, using that money, showing her he's rich, so then he can run the same scam on her. And they show all these girls have the same pictures of the security guard getting hit over the head. And I'm supposed to feel bad for these broads? This guy's a fucking American hero, and he's not even American. Can we just take a second to honor a guy who's taking the balance of power back a little bit? You guys got all the power, women, okay? Everyone wants the money to get the pus.
Yeah.
Case in point, what's this guy pretending to have to get pus? Is he pretending to have a diploma in social work? Because you know how hot women find that. Is he pretending to be a huge philanthropist? Is he working with children in the inner city? Is that what made these women trust him so much? Was it his record of good deeds? Was it his time at the UN sewing arms back onto children who were mining for diamonds? Somebody's got to hold these fucking women accountable, okay? You get married, you got to buy them a $20,000 fucking ring that, basically came with 3 African arms being sawn off. And I'm supposed to be like, this is just fine. Here's your little fucking diamond, your fucking blood diamond.
Yep.
That, the symbol of my love is fucking 10 grand on your finger. Fuck you! Where's my fucking ring?
Well, your ring can't fit on your finger because you have hypertension. But besides that, you're right.
Besides that. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's like we're supposed to act like women aren't into money. They're into money.
Yeah.
There's some women watching this, not me. Yeah, really? Oh, so if Derek Jeter knocked on your door tomorrow, you're not going to leave the guy Barry you're with, who's working another shift at Sheetz outside of Pittsburgh, to get on a private plane with Derek Jeter and go to Switzerland? I mean, really? So he's playing on that vulnerability. He's playing on that blind spot that women have for, oh my God, the luxury life. Women love that luxury life. So he's playing on that and stealing their money. So he's taking one for the male sex. I salute the Tinder Swindler, and I can't wait to watch part 2 where he gets plastic surgery and does it all over again.
Well, it looks like you're going to be hearing a lot from him because he's doing his own podcast now.
Of course he is.
That's the way to do it.
Of course he is.
A dating podcast.
And I'm sure businesses are hiring him as a consultant on how they can trick us all into buying their shitty product. I bet you right now he's a fuck it, I don't want to do Raycon anymore anyway. He's a Raycon spokesperson.
Good product, Raycon.
It's a great product. I'm just kidding. He's a consultant for Raycon right now on how he could make Raycon as good as Airbuds. It's all in how you package it. It's the sale, not the product. Kid's smart. Kid's brilliant. I mean, that type of brilliant. He's got a criminal mind. Big deal. He makes life interesting. The Tinder Swindler. Check it out. And then lastly, let's talk about this Hillary thing. What is going on here? Did Hillary bug Donald Trump's office? I don't know what to believe because it's not on CNN yet. So I don't know. CNN is how I found out Joe Rogan was snorting horse paste. We don't really know what to make of this story. Apparently, some typically right-wing outlets are reporting, and of course Tucker Carlson reported that now the whole Russiagate was sort of a ruse invented and created by Hillary and her campaign to discredit Donald Trump. And it was because some, legal advisor to her campaign dropped dime about it. We already knew that the Steele dossier was funded by the campaign, right? The research for the Steele dossier. And the Steele dossier turned out to be bullshit. Now, somehow that just got wiped away because Donald Trump is the devil, in their eyes. But now this is coming back into the news, at least some right-wing news. I don't know if it's true or not. What's the main thrust behind this story? Now, another piece of Russia, a computer server operated by Trump's company was secretly communicating with a Russian firm, claims Slate magazine and endless Twitter threads of would-be tech experts. But as special counsel John Durham outlines in his latest indictment, that was just a story made up by tech executive Rondi Joff, who desperately wanted a job with the Clinton administration. He hacked Trump's servers, cherry-picked privileged internet data he had access to, and molded it to look like something nefarious. He was coached by lawyer Michael Sussman. Now, Michael Sussman, he's the one who was being paid by the Clinton administration. Although he lied about that to investigators, Sussman goes to the FBI as a concerned citizen, not a Clinton stooge, to try to get them to bite. The ultimate goal, be able to leak to the Times that Trump is under official investigation. Durham definitely showed that the Hillary Clinton campaign directly funded and ordered its lawyers at Perkins Cole to orchestrate a criminal enterprise to fabricate a connection between President Trump and Russia, says Kash Patel, the former chief investigator of the House Intelligence Committee. So that's pretty big allegations. Is it true? Is that why we're not seeing it in the other press? I guess we'll follow this as this develops, but this is bad. Yeah, if that's true.
Stay tuned to Tucker.
I mean, that's the only person talking about it, right? But that doesn't mean it's not true.
Tucker in the Post.
But it also could mean it's not true. We just don't know. That's why people don't trust the press anymore. But if this is true, I would assume that's very bad, right?
Very bad. Hacking into other people's records,
To try to create a false story to malign a candidate.
Yeah, you can't do all that to make it seem like another man is cheating when you can't prevent your own husband from cheating.
Exactly.
That's just
101 of ethics right there. There's a lot of stories coming out that Hillary Clinton is a little less than chaste. I hate to bust people's bubble. I mean, I'm sorry. Pete Davidson has a tattoo of her on his arm. Do you think he's going to change that tattoo to Kim Kardashian? Clinton campaign paid to infiltrate Trump Tower. Let's see what they say about it. Of course, this is Fox, but what can you do? They're right sometimes. They were right about the Covington kids. They were the only ones reporting it. All right,
I found out that I had cancer.
Commercial.
All right, it was a little commercial.
Scared me.
scared me.
Yeah, the person who owns this cancer foundation
Had no benefits. They start
turned out to be a con man that was able to bang a lot of women who were so impressed by his work with cancer patients.
me like a family member. Be able to have my whole family on that plan. It was a great feeling as a father, as a husband.
Amazon.
Oh, it's an Amazon commercial. Yeah, they don't try to tug at your heartstrings at all.
Thanks, Judy. Well, it was a busy year for special counsel John Durham. Hillary Clinton's campaign lawyer Michael Sussman and Steele dossier source Igor Danchenko were both indicted as part of Durham's investigation into the origins of the FBI's Trump-Russia probe. So what can we expect as both trials are slated to begin next year? Let's bring in former
wait a
federal
second.
prosecutor James Trusty. James.
So they were indicted. So this is true. They wouldn't say these people were indicted if they weren't. Them
Yeah.
being indicted means it's true, right?
Sounds like it.
All right, let's see what they say.
Thanks so much for being with us today. And I just want to pull up on the screen a breakdown of how this probe has moved on since it first started. In May 2019, then Attorney General Barr assigned Durham to examine the origins of the Trump-Russia probe. In August 2020, we had a first guilty plea. October 2020, it became a special counsel. 2021, we had three major events, three indictments there, and then December 2021, they revealed that it had spent $3.8 million so far. So when you look back at the past year, certainly a big uptick in activity. And I just wonder what that tells you about it, if they're getting closer to perhaps to the conclusion.
Yeah, I think it's really getting closer to its natural conclusion. It's going to be very interesting in 2022, in part because of some recent things. The Danchenko indictment specifically, and a recent motion that they filed regarding a potential conflict of interest for a law firm, really tells most people, or tells me at least, that they are zooming in microscopically at the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign. They're looking very closely at people that basically fueled the Russian dossier creation and transportation of that dossier to the willing eyes of the FBI, where it was used to spy on.
Okay, that was like an older story. That's
So,
been going on for
I
a couple
think-
years. That's been known that the dossier ended up being false based on bullshit.
Yeah.
So basically right now they're zooming into the Clinton campaign being behind the creation of the funding, the creation of the dossier eventually, and now this as well.
The scenes, what we're not going to hear about for some time probably, is they're really scrutinizing communications, maybe all the way up to Hillary, about whether or not these communications are attorney-client privileged or whether there's a basis for being able to use them in an open courtroom.
Yeah, and that conflict of interest that you discussed there is that Danchenko was represented by the same law firm that represented the Hillary campaign. So certainly they'll be looking into that. Now, the special counsel designation, it provides an additional degree sort of insulation.
Okay,
from
so I get it. So
DOJ. But when
the
Biden
law
administra-
firm
John
that
Durham,
represented
Hillary Clinton's campaign,
Danchenko or whatever
Michael-
his fucking name is also represented the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Yeah.
But he's just going to allege that one thing had nothing to do with the other. She'll get off scot-free.
No points of conflict of
and
interest,
there'll be
yeah.
nothing to it because that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes in this country. If you're caught with a nickel bag or a dime bag of weed, you got to go to prison for 20 years. But if you're caught doing high malfeasance like this, there is a cover. There's always a story. There's always a way to get out of it. All these people know each other. They know the reporters. They go to the same parties. They figure out a way to make it all spun nice. It's like they are gift wrappers at a department store and they bought you a shit gift, but it comes in a nice box with nice wrapping paper and a nice bullshit bow. So take your fucking present, swallow it, and keep screaming about how everyone hates everybody else while these people walk away, sipping champagne, laying down in first class on the Delta bed. Hopefully I'm in another one because I don't give a shit. I'm willing to be paid off. CCP, call me. All right, guys, we want to give a shout out to our small business sponsors. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we want you guys to interact with these shout outs with these small businesses and use them. Okay, if you need the particular service that they offer, support small business just like we're doing right here, and they will support you back by giving you a little something off the top, a little haircut. So I want to welcome our newest small business sponsor. I'm very happy because I love this guy's name, Nicola Ragusa. This guy does a LASIK eye surgery So if you're in New York City, go to OCNY, see Dr. Ragusa in Astoria, Queens. You got the home of the Greeks. Go see Dr. Ragusa. Nicola. Is he Greek? I don't know. Tell us if you're Greek. Whether your eyes are normally spaced apart or mine. So he put that in, so he deserves credit.
That guy's a joke writer.
Yeah. OCNY is there to correct your vision. So I may go to them. I don't know. Should I get LASIK? LASIK eye surgery corrects nearsightedness, farsightedness. You'll never need glasses again. They got an exclusive offer. OCNY is giving you 10% off LASIK eye surgery. Just mention Yannis from Longdays sent you when you're booking. Very easy. So call him up, mention my name, Yannis from Longdays. OCNY's additional services include comprehensive vision and eye health exams, among others. So you got to go to this guy, OCNYEYE.com. That's OCNYEYE.com. Make an appointment right now or call 646-534-9474. Check out Dr. Nicola Ragusa right now. Get your eyes corrected or an eye exam. If you're in New York City, that's your guy. Use it. 10% off. Thank you. We welcome you, Dr. Ragusa. Now we got Longshore Coffee out there in Rhode Island. I got my bag. Jesse got our bag. And let me tell you something. This is delicious coffee. I hope you stay with us because I'm going to start talking about you at the beginning of the episode too, because that's how much I like the coffee. I'm going to start working it in. I want people to buy it. Nobody should be doing the Kerricks. Nobody should be doing the Kerricks because you're drinking plastic. It's no good. It's a disgrazia. So Longshore Coffee, Stephen Miller, the owner of Longshore Coffee, up there in Rhode Island. It's a new small batch coffee roastery, and boy, can you taste it. It is delicious. They're located in Providence, Rhode Island, with Buddy Cianci, and they're offering their premium blends and single origin coffees. They ship nationwide, so hit them up right now, and they offer free local delivery in Rhode Island. If you live in Rhode Island, you better use this. I'm ordering you to use it. So he's offering 15% off at checkout. Checkout with the promo code, of course, FUMES. So go to longshorecoffee.com. Order your coffee now with the promo code FUMES. It is delicious. Thank you so much, Stephen Miller. I enjoy it. Me and my wife are drinking it right now. Send more. Nate Linder, your social media managing guru. NateLinder.com. This kid will do everything. Video advertising is expected to boom in 2022, guys. So hit him up. Be a part of the new wave coming. This is not a new, like a big agency, clunky agency. This is Nate Linder giving you direct social media consulting advice and a plan and executing it for you. He's managed over 5 million in digital ads and has worked with over 100 clients, so he can take on any type of business. Go to NateLinder.com right now and talk to Nate Linder and get your social media game to the next level. Chris Minetti, if you live in South Jersey or Philly, you know the deal. You got to cash a check. Only one place to go to, and that is Chris Minetti Financial Services. Call him. Call Chris, 215-750-3730. IRS don't know nothing. For the free, Aaron Lee, forthefree.us, all things music in Hawaii. Go find out about local bands, local concerts. All the music coming out of Hawaii is on forthefree.us. So go and peruse the website. If you're going on vacation in Hawaii, you know you got to hit up forthefree.us. If you're a music lover, you know you got to hit up forthefree.us. TheBronxBrand.com. I just bought the coffee cup shirt. Send it to me, baby. I'm going to wear it on Longdays. So send it to me. They got great stuff up there. Jared bought a print, put it up in his living room. It's absolutely amazing art up there by local Bronx artists. So it's thebronxbrand.com. Go up there right now. Get 15% off your order with the promo code FUMES, which I forgot to put in, by the way. So I paid full price for my Greek Diner coffee cup, the famous Greek Diner coffee cup shirt, which is Liddy. Then exclusiveautoshipping.com from my boy Jared Z. If you're moving your car anywhere in the United States or the world, get your free quote from exclusiveautoshipping.com right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 3 spots open right now. So if you want a small business shout out, do it. Or if they don't fill up, I'm going to close it out at these 7. Remember, you will stay with me for as big as this podcast gets. This podcast continues to get bigger. I will continue to offer the same deal in order to support small business, which I think is very important and is a mission of this show. So good luck to all you, and those 3 spots, go fill them up. Now, for our new Patreon members, we welcome you, and here you are. Okay, our new Patreon members, welcome to the fetaverse. Welcome, long haulers. We got Cone Koopman, Clint Monahan, Eric Poos, Nick Anastasia, Chase Carpenter, R.A., Quentin Weiss, Rogan Sauter, Richard Mason, Matt Stahlheberger.
What?
Matt Stahlheber. Nate Cousins, Chris Black, Nikos. Posty said Nikos. Welcome, our new members, patreon.com/Yanni Longdays. Go show up. Patreon is really taking off. People loving the extra long day episodes we shoot in the studio. So go support the show. Appreciate every one of you. Join the future. Become part of the bold future. Become part of Web3 and subscribe to the show. We'll see you next week.
It's been a